Hold
All
on.
right, boys and girls. Nick said hold on, but I didn't hold on. I went ahead and got started. I'm just so excited to see all of you in this new year. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year, Nick. I didn't even say that to you yet. Well, maybe
Happy
I did
New
in the group chat.
Year,
How you doing, man?
everybody. I'm doing good. Nice and bright and early here. The earliest I've woke up all year, actually.
Man, I've been doing a
Pretty good.
really bad job at waking up. I've been waking up at like 10 or 11 a.m. every day.
I did that yesterday and I felt so guilty.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. I'm slowly like working my way, like I'm moving my sleeping time like earlier and earlier every day though,
hmm
so hopefully I'll have it fixed by the end of the week. But it's a process. What'd you do on New Year's?
Nothing.
I didn't do
Just like
anything
an
either.
old man, I stayed inside.
Yeah,
I watched some TV. I think I had a couple of solo drinks, but nothing wild, and went to bed early.
nice. Did you
Just
stay up past
nice.
midnight?
Oh man, I don't think so.
Dang.
Oh no, yes I did, because I remember looking out the window and seeing fireworks going off
A
everywhere.
bunch of fireworks started going off outside my window, and like in my head, it didn't even register. I was like, why are there so many right now? And then I looked at the clock like 30 minutes later, an hour later. I'm like, oh yeah,
Oh,
okay, I get
right.
it. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We can stay. I actually really dislike party holidays like Halloween and New Year's because it feels like it's a mandatory party. Like it's like you have to do it, and no one tells me what to do, so it's a problem.
There you go. I know that's right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know how it works. If you have any SEO questions, go ahead and ask. This might be an insanely slow stream. We are doing it at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, and it's like the third of the year. And
Yeah,
yeah, we haven't
bunch of
had any
people
streams in
probably
a while.
still
Yeah.
hungover, just moseying in to the new year.
Yeah, so very, very possible that there's like no one watching and we can just do some audits and maybe even answer some questions from our group or from some comments as well. We actually get a bunch of questions on comments that um, I'll actually go in and give like little short answers, but we could maybe answer some of those if we're going real slow.
Nice.
But all right, let's go ahead and get to it. I guess we can start with an audit. And I wasn't sure. I wanted to send this one to you first and ask if
Here we
you
go.
remember it. If did we do this one last time? I can't remember if we did this one or not.
Mm,
I don't think we did that.
No, I don't recognize it.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that one. Sorry guys, give us 1 second while we get kind of set up. And if you're watching in chat, go ahead and let us know, what did you do on the new year? Did you have a cooler new year than us? We did nothing. Maybe you did something kind of cool or exciting.
Maybe you sat around doing SEO, found some new tips and tricks you'd like to share with the group.
Mm. All right, and this one gave us a huge freaking thing.
Okay.
I'm not gonna put it all up though. I'm gonna put some of it up and then I'll read the rest, I guess, because it's kind of crazy how much info they gave us. It's too much info, guys. Oh man, even my shorter version is too much. Um, all right. It says this website was hit by every update lately. I'm sorry, man. It's not funny, but it's just having a rough time, right? And lost 70% of its traffic and 65% revenue. It's actually not that bad. And, it was on 160K down to 55K visits per month. It's a local business site and a local web shot. Big blog was made on it, then got a lot of traffic. Then Ezoic on blog articles only. Then blog was auto-translated premium plugin to 20 languages. Okay, so we got some auto translation going on. I see Nick making faces over there. He is not happy. Nick's not happy right now. Let's read the rest of this real
Dang.
quick and just see. And I'll take that off the screen so you guys can see the graph real quick because this guy wrote a bunch. It steadily climbed, but I still rank number 1, number 3 for many important keywords as it did before, so that's a bit strange because every week it gets worse with traffic, 11 weeks in a row now. No links were ever built, only what came naturally. I was thinking to buy this from you. And he says month 1, citations and social profiles, 1 PBN and social signals. So basically a bunch of natural stuff in 1 PBN link. Month 2, more pillow links, 1 niche edit, some diversity links, and a guest post. Okay, so niche edit and guest post plus more pillow links. And then month 3, 1 PBN, niche edits, guest post. Okay. I also, so basically it sounds like he wants to kind of like diversify some natural stuff and then start linking. But I'll just say you don't even need to wait for it to do like month by month like that. You can literally just buy like a pillow link pack and a diversity link pack, and those come with citations and social signals and stuff already. You could buy those and just start doing niche edits and guest posts immediately, like to your homepage with natural anchors. Like you don't need to wait month by month like that. Like if this is what I was doing, that's exactly how I would do it. Okay.
You already have backlinks going to you, so I mean you're probably pillowed up. I haven't dove into it, but we'll take a look here in a second.
So he's basically just saying what we think about that. He's also willing to do like a 301 redirect if we think it's a good idea. Most articles are interlinked with Link Whisper plugin. We do use that sometime, but it's really not that good. I feel like I can only really recommend a Link Whisper if you're doing like super automated type stuff versus like going for like a quality kind
Or
of
you
thing.
just need to help like a person pick out some ideas, right? But like edit it with the human eye.
Okay, no keyword stuffing, consistent NAP, GMB, real address, real phone number. Author is a real person. He's mentioned on other websites. Okay, so he's basically saying he's got some like author eat going on. Blah, blah, blah. Links are in the about us page. Sorry, this is just, I'm trying to spare you guys all the stuff that he wrote here. I lost some rankings on HCU. I can't. Okay, I'm just gonna stop there. Let's go and take a look.
There's a lot, yeah. We should be able to audit.
Seen anything interesting? Are you starting off page or what?
Well, so let's start with what he said at the very beginning. So I haven't tested in a long time, but I know back in the day, and I had tested it. A translate plugin is sure to make you nosedive. I don't know if it creates duplicate content issues or what, but I know the last time I checked, I mean, it's been years, there wasn't a plugin that you could use that would automate that wouldn't tank your site. And then he was talking about Ezoic, another thing that can definitely tank your site, especially over the course like the last year. And I don't remember some of the other stuff that he was saying, but that's a couple of things to consider.
Let's see what some of his biggest loser keywords
site
were. 15th August 23. August.
Are you serious?
Did you get kicked off?
Hey,
yeah, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to get on the other account if it kicks me off again. It's really hard to audit this because everything's in another language. So first of all, like this is gonna be very difficult for us. Not gonna lie, borderline impossible with the amount of time that we have.
So looking at anchors just real quick, that even if without translating, that does not look natural at all. We're talking about really long anchors, no naked, no branded. And a lot of times you can just go to the anchors section, guys, and you'll get a really quick view into what's going on, but I'm not seeing any natural anchors here. So he says he hasn't ever bought any.
It cleans up a bit when you just put like a really low filter on it, like DR10 traffic 100. Okay. So a lot of it's just like really just like spam. It could just be completely natural kind of spam that everyone gets, right? But even then, what I'm seeing that's still left, that still doesn't look that great as far as anchor text.
Looks like an old Fiverr blast or something. A lot of them are dead.
Yeah.
So maybe the backlinks aren't even something you have to worry about, but unless you're prodding with some hard quality stuff, we won't really know.
Yeah, you should know at least that you've got a ton of spam,
A ton of
like
spam.
a
Yeah.
lot. And then what I'm seeing that's left here still looks like spam. I'm like, I don't really know if he's got many links that are not spam.
Anything really. Yeah.
So, you know, part of the reason even could just be that maybe Google got better because this is in Croatian. Well, he's in like every language or whatever, but maybe Google just got better at the other languages or whatever and realized that like,
Yeah,
I
this
don't
is
know,
a
all your backlinks are essentially spam.
what is this?
Uh, I'm going to look at his backlinks now. What are you looking at?
He's got a link from a male stripper website.
Nice.
This is a like organic farming based website, something along those lines. So it's kind of funny if y'all are watching to see a male stripper site linking to it. But it's a real link.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, insanely hard to audit this in another language, but looks like a bunch of spam, not too much quality as far as backlinks go.
Start prodding with some better links, I would say. Would be something to gauge where we're at off page wise. And I don't think his idea about some pillowing, especially now that we've dove into this a bit, I don't think it'd be a bad idea to do some pillowing and then get started with some authority.
Yeah, you could do some pillowing. Just start doing guest posts and niche edits to your homepage. And like Nick
Mm-hmm.
said, some authority is probably better than lower authority. Like stick to like mid to high authority to your homepage. Very natural anchor text. You can use your brand name. You can use your URL anchor. You can use your brand name plus other stuff. Just stay away from like keywords and stuff for now. Stay really natural. Just not building anchor text like you're trying to rank something, right? Just building it like you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
promote your brand or something.
Oh, here we go. Oh, sorry. Are we jumping on to on page yet, or still off
I
page?
wanted to check one more thing. I wanted to check Best by links. Where is that? Did they move it? I guess I haven't been in Ahrefs in a week or two. Here we go. Best by links. Maybe my eyes just are horrible. Lots of image links. Yeah, so this is what it is. He just got a bunch of like image spam essentially. I switch it to 200 OK and now I'm not seeing a single link going to anything. Is that right? I feel like that's not even possible. It's got to be a problem with the Ahrefs.
Sorry, what are you doing?
I tried to switch the status to 200 OK for on the Best Buy links page, but then it was saying essentially he didn't have a single link. So every single link might be going to like images, like 100% of them.
I mean, that could maybe make sense. I would feel like somebody had bought a Fiverr gig at some point, or maybe even considered it negative SEO at some point.
Okay, anyway, I guess we can go and try to
Yeah,
look at this
all
site, but this
garbage.
is going to be really hard.
Basically, from what I've seen, is like an inner page. So yeah, Ezoic's going on. As of last year, it's looking like Ezoic's going to crash your site. I'm seeing, 3 random ads on here, depending on the page you land on. So, I would consider maybe dropping Ezoic, to be honest with you. Another thing is it does have some eat going on.
I feel like
It
these
does feel a
images
bit like a
actually look
90s
real.
site.
I don't,
I
the,
think they are
if
real.
those images are real, I actually really like it.
Yeah. I think all this content is original. I don't see anything that looks like a stolen image.
It's got
Well,
a
maybe
bunch
that
of
one, but
interlinking going on. but he said he did
Mm,
it with link whispers, so it's probably not the best like anchors or like target selection. I mean, he's actually got like too much internal linking going on, it seems like.
yeah.
That's a lot.
Then like if I
Oh, that's the
inspect
one I'm
like
looking at.
this random inner page,
Maybe he just like accepted
really
every single
weird.
interlinking like option that the thing
Could be.
suggested.
Um, yeah, it could be. So this looks like, I mean, that's a pretty weird title tag you got there. Mm,
But yeah, we're not gonna be able to audit your content, but I just checked some kind of like the very basic stuff about your site, and your site actually I think it looks pretty decent. You might want to check out your interlinking and make sure it's just not all complete garbage or whatever, and linking to stuff that makes sense, that's relevant, that's natural, and also using like good anchor text for those internal links, because link whisper is very not great at that. Like Nick said, a lot of sites are also getting hit for very aggressive like ad placements. So that could be something you check out as well. Actually, when I was listening to the search quality rater guy on Twitter, Cyrus, it seemed like ads were like almost maybe even like the number one thing that the most recent helpful content update targeted, which was kind of crazy to me.
yeah, that is pretty crazy.
But yeah, it looks like he got hit by a core update and then helpful content maybe, then another core update.
Yeah,
It looks like he's been getting hit by core updates rather than helpful content.
I'd say maybe check your title tags too. You got a bunch of stuff that looks a little bit off here, at least on some of these pages
Yeah, you go and have a look and like just like see like how much of your site is like auto
based
generated.
off
Like how much
page.
are you like using stuff to
Yeah.
like auto generate stuff? If you're doing that too much, you might want to like not do it. But also, yeah, backlinks really not too great. I don't even know how much of a benefit you'd get if you like tried to start over and then like 3 or 1 redirected this entire site over. Because yeah, the backlink profile looks pretty bad. But you could start just building links to it naturally, like we were talking about. And if that doesn't work after some time, and then maybe you're also making like content adjustments as well. Sorry, we're not going to be able to give you more information on that. Just your site's in a foreign language and can't do it. But after some time, if you're still not seeing any improvement or whatever, you could try just starting over on a new domain. You could redirect your old domain to the new domain with the same content on it if you'd like. If you think the content's worth it. But if you're if you're cutting a bunch of corners and you know this content isn't good, then that's also, could also be a definite issue. All right, gonna go ahead and stop this one here. Looks like Nick kind of disappeared. No idea where he went, but let's see what we got next. All right. Hey Abdul, hi Magico, and hello Ryan. What's up, guys? And what's up, Annie? Annie asks, what's my favorite podcast and why is it the Aspiring CMO? It's funny that you guessed that because my favorite podcast is actually the Aspiring CMO. If you guys have not checked out Annie's podcast, go search on YouTube for the Aspiring CMO. It's amazing. And I think I'm going to appear on it shortly. I don't think I'm on there yet, but we did do a recording. So, yep. All right, Abdul, let's see what you got. Guess we'll start this one without Nick because I have no idea where he is. What do you think about Google SGE? How will it impact SEO? Yeah, so we get asked this one pretty much every week, right? Honestly, we're not thinking about SGE at all that much. It seems like Google doesn't even really know what they're going to do with it. They keep testing new stuff. They keep making it smaller. They're not rolling it out completely. If SGE does come out like the way that it is right now, it'll definitely impact search a bit. But we're just not that scared about it right now. Actually, more than SGE, the thing that I'm more scared about is SEOs like literally breaking the internet. Because right now, I don't think Google knows how to deal with the amount of like AI content and the kind of stuff that SEOs are doing. And it seems like Google is like going in the back and they're just like twisting a bunch of knobs really randomly and it's like breaking search, right? And so the problem with that is that the more that Google breaks its own thing trying to fight AI, the more that they break their own product, that less money is going to come into SEO. You're going to have less people spending money on SEO budgets. You're going to have less people buying backlinks. You're going to have less people investing in SEO on a whole because it's going to be seen as less. It's going to be seen as more risky, right? Because Google is just bouncing all over the place with these updates. Just like it's just insane what they're doing right now. But yeah, so SGE, don't care about it too much. We'll cross that bridge when they eventually roll it out. But right now it seems like they don't really want to put it front and center, and they're kind of testing a bunch of stuff, making it smaller and less intrusive. And I'll just add one more thing, and that is that, whenever you poll anyone and it's like, hey, do you trust AI answers or would you read an article written by AI? And then you're polling like normal people are like 99% like, hell no. So like, why would Google want to put that front and center for a bunch of stuff? I think what they'll end up doing is just kind of rolling it out in a much smaller version that's kind of more similar to like a featured snippet and can just answer to like something like really short and then just get out of the way and like let it get back to the articles. But that's just my prediction. I'm not really that smart of a guy, so we'll see what happens. Nick, you want to add anything on that one?
No, I missed the beginning, but I think you probably got it.
Yeah. All right. And he says my episode drops tomorrow. So yeah, everyone head over to go over to YouTube and type in the aspiring CMO and go subscribe, and you'll see my pretty face tomorrow, and Annie. Both of our pretty faces in unison. All right. How to get guest posts for a new website. When every business I ask for a guest post, they ask for money. Yeah, welcome to the internet in 2024 now. It's the first time I've been able to say that. Basically, what you're walking into right now is every website owner has had their email inbox blown up by people who are trying to get links on their website every single day, 10, 20, 50, 100 times a day, depending on how big the site is. So people understand very well that backlinks are worth money, and a lot of the times they're not going to give you a link for free. You can still do it.
You're not the only person trying to make money on the internet here,
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to get their slice of the pie. That's probably why they started the blog in the first place.
So there are other ways that you can go about this, but the other ways that people generally go about it, it still requires like something from you. I actually saw Steve Toth, his note or whatever from his email list that went out today. He was actually giving a tip by Russell Lobo, who's also a really cool guy. He's another link builder that I've met a few times now. And I think Russell was saying some of the stuff they do to offer free link exchanges, they do, or not free link exchange, free guest posts. They offer free social traffic. So basically he's got big like Pinterest that's in a bunch of groups, and they can get a bunch of people to click their link if you post it in all these groups on Pinterest. So it basically offers them an exchange for a backlink, right? So he can offer them free social traffic, or he offers them a three-way link exchange. So like, hey, if you link to this site from your site, I'll link to your site from this other site that we own or whatever, or that we have a good relationship with. And then I believe you had one more. I can't remember what the other one was, but anyway, essentially you need to offer them something. A lot of the times your very well written article is not going to be enough unless you're like a very like well-known author or whatever. But yeah, it's just what the internet is these days. People understand that there's value there. But there's also value in trying to get links from people who don't buy them, because then you know for sure it's not a guest post farm, right? So yeah, it's a lot harder. Russell is saying that his success rate with these non-paying like sites that you don't need to give them any money for at all is about like 1%. And yeah, judging from our own outreach, I'd say that's probably about right, or even less, since we're not even coming out with the offer initially.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let's see what else we got. Thoughts on why Google removed the end date for the SGE experiment from their site? Yeah, so this is, I didn't even know that they did this, but this is something we were just talking about on one of the previous questions, right? It sounds like Google has no idea what they want to do with SGE. People hate AI content. Like, why are they going to put that on the top of their product? Like, people hate it. Like, there's such a huge backlash to AI content right now. why would they want to put that front and center? So I think Google's still experimenting heavily. They took the end date for the experiment because they have no idea when they're actually going to put it live. It seems like it's kind of maybe a bit of a disaster right now. It's going to impact search. Everyone's pissed off at them. They're breaking their own product trying to fight AI. Like Google's in such a actually feel kind of bad for Google right now. I feel like they're like in such a bad situation, but. Basically, Nick, the guy is saying that Google removed the end date for the SGE experiment. So basically, there's no end date for when SGE experiment is going to be over, which kind of ties in what we were saying before with it sounds like they don't know what to do with it, right? And
Yeah.
yeah. But
Big
anyway,
old cluster F over there at Google.
yeah. I think their priority maybe should be like not breaking their own product first. So, basically driving users over to Bing because it seems like Google's getting worse every day. But yeah, we'll see what
Have you
happens.
started using Bing yet?
Me? No,
Yeah, no, me
no,
either.
not at all. But yeah, so I'll just say this one more time in case anyone's like watching this, anyone didn't watch before. But yeah, we're in the camp of we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Kind of paying attention,
Yeah.
but I'm really not spending a lot of time focusing on this stuff, and I don't think you should be either. Like focus on what makes you money right now, and just focus on that really hard while kind of keeping your eyes open or whatever. And yeah, it's really the best you can do, right? Because we have no idea what the future is going to be like in a year from now.
Right.
All right, what's next? Hello, I'm a little confused with spam links. If Search Console is removing the disavow feature, I didn't even know they were doing that. That's
Me
crazy.
either.
Oh, that sucks for the people who sell
Uh,
disavows, right? Um,
Dude, yeah, we gotta hit Dooley up about that. See what he's got to say.
if Search Console is removing the disavow feature, does this mean they can better recognize what good and bad links are? All right, so
They got an idea they can.
yeah, so basically, Nick just mentioned like Dooley. We've talked to a couple people who are like they really stand by that they think disavows work. I haven't seen one work myself. I've also never paid like 10 grand for a disavow. So I can't really say that disavows don't work if you get these like super awesome people to do them. I don't really know. But what I will say is that I think Google is extremely good at ignoring links. I think they're getting better and better and better at just ignoring stuff. We don't see manual link building penalties anymore. Like I haven't seen a manual link building penalty in I don't even know how long. We've actually never got a client. We're a link building agency. Since we've been open in 2019, we've never got a single person saying, "Hey, I got a natural link penalty and it's your fault." Um,
Yeah,
so
even
go ahead.
since just selling PBNs exclusively, I've never had a manual action pop up. And I'm even thinking during that time where like all the PBNs got popped close to like 10 years ago, I don't remember anybody actually coming out and saying like I got a manual penalty, even at that time.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy.
So I think what Google does now is they just look at backlinks and they say, can we count this one or not count it? I don't think they have like negative counting. Um, and I think they're going to continue to get better and better at it. And I think by just them removing the disavow feature is kind of proof of that. Like, why would they remove the feature if it was worth anything, right?
I can't actually find the news on them removing the feature, which is what I was just like scrambling around trying to
I thought
find,
I
but maybe
saw
I'm just.
something briefly about it before, but I'm not 100% sure. Um,
Mm,
and another thing I want to say about this is that it's just something I've been kind of thinking about every time I talk to someone about disavows. It was like, from Google's point of view, why would it be fair that the only way someone can get themselves out of trouble, like maybe their SEO
yeah,
department got themselves in trouble, why would the only way to get yourself out of trouble be to pay some person 10K who has the most genius disavow strategy ever? Like that's such a bad like way for Google to like
that's
go about things,
promoting
right?
promoting the manipulation of backlink
Exactly,
data
exactly. So it's like this
because it's
person
like the
who,
only people. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like this person
The
who
only
knows how to
people that
manipulate
aren't
stuff,
gonna,
he can fix your stuff, and
yeah,
some random guy or whatever. And now that you were smart enough to show us exactly which ones were the bad ones,
yeah.
and now we'll give you your rankings back. I
Meanwhile, mom and pop are like they don't even know what a backlink is, can't
exactly,
protect themselves,
exactly,
right?
or like the company and their SEO department, or maybe they outsource their SEO. Like all this stuff is like it just doesn't make sense to me. But if the disavow feature goes, then good riddance. We don't use it anyway. I don't even remember the last time I used it. Don't remember the last time I saw an unnatural link building penalty. We literally, if a site has like really crappy off-page SEO, essentially what we do is we come in and we just start building links very naturally. A bunch of nice links, a lot of homepage links, a lot of very natural anchor text, right? And things usually correct over time. Yeah. All right. What do we got next? If this is the case, wouldn't it reduce the risk of building more links as much as possible? Not really. I don't really understand that follow-up, but hopefully I answered your question. How can I build backlinks to my website for free?
In 2024.
I'm just gonna pull up an article that I wrote on this. Um,
At this point, though, like I'm just like, you know what? If you're asking this, like it's probably going to be a pretty hard SEO year
yeah, it is.
for you. Like I'm just like the because we've answered this over the years, right? But it
Yeah, but
progressively
there's
gets
always new
harder
people coming. Yeah.
for sure. But like I feel like you need to know, you're getting involved in an industry that is run by marketers, right? Like everybody here is trying to make money on the internet. Um, so if you are able to get a bunch of stuff free, you're gonna have to question like the quality. As far as backlinking goes, that's part of your marketing budget right there. Essentially, it's your press budget. So to think that like you're gonna be able to compete in like anything that's really worth a damn out there, any SERP that's worth a damn, but try and do it exclusively free. Yeah, I don't want to say it's not possible, but the time where that was really accessible, I think, is pretty over.
Yeah, so what Nick's saying essentially is that you get what you pay for. Most links that are free, anyone can do, and they're not really, I mean, you get what you pay for, right? Um, but there are some decent, like, we call these types of links like pillow links or whatever,
Pillows.
just not like, stuff like citations, social profiles. Absolutely build this stuff. These are very good links. We even sell packs of different kind of stuff like that. But they're free to make. People just don't want to take the time to make them because they have to make a ton of them. And so, that's why they come to a provider like us. We also mentioned in a previous question, you can do outreach and you can get free links, but your success rate is going to be like super low, like 1% or lower. And generally, it's not even really free a lot of the time. A lot of the time, you have to offer them something else, like a link exchange or free social traffic. Or I remember the other thing, Rosa Lobo also does like he'll make them like a video for their niche or like an infographic or something kind of like worth something, right?
Yeah.
And another way you can do it, like for example, I'm not 100% on this, but I'm pretty sure like BB, the link builder, she's like super into like we don't get any links that are not, that ask for money or whatever. And but I think she comes from like a writing background or something. She's like super super creative, and the way she does her outreach is like really like attention grabbing and funny and stuff. And so campaigns that are like that, but just know that there are very few people doing this kind of thing effectively. And yeah, the opportunity kind of is there. And aside from that, you can check out this article I wrote here, generate free high quality backlinks. And there are some other ways we'll get to real quick. One way is you can use a tool to look at your competitor backlinks, go in, see what links your competitors have, outreach to all those people, say, hey, I saw that you linked to this guy, and basically give a reason why you should link to you too. Like, hey, my article is actually better than his or whatever, Haro, Haro's definitely, actually, Haro's making some changes. They're actually requiring money now after a certain number of things. And I think they're trying to fight like AI spam as well, because definitely kind of got worse after people started spamming it with AI. But Haro's also another good way to get free links, can't not mention it. Basically, reporters are looking for quotes to cite in their articles. You can go answer their questions 3 times a day. They send out these emails, or is it 2 times a day, 2 or 3? And then yeah, you answer the emails, and then if they like you, they'll pick you, and they'll usually give you a link to your homepage with a very natural anchor text. So you can't really control like where the link's going or the anchor text or anything. Broken link building, same thing. Reach out, say hello. This link's broken. Here's something you can link to instead. Unlinked brand mentions, not going to mention that. We covered some guest posting. Podcasts are a good way, but you have to have something interesting to say, right? So, for example, who came on our podcast? Jackie Cho came on our podcast last. And like every podcast guest, when someone comes on, we post a little thing on our website, and then we link out to them. But anyway, there's a bunch of other stuff here. This article keeps going and going and going. But I think the ones I mentioned, oh, here, I'll mention this one too. Link exchanges are another popular way to get free links, but you have to have, you don't want to just be doing straight up like reciprocal links all the time. You can do some, but I would stay away from doing too many link exchanges unless you got like other sites and you can do like ABC link exchanges and you're exchanging with actual quality sites and stuff. But yeah, you might want to just make sure you don't get caught up doing a bunch of link exchanges with little low quality sites and in groups and stuff where everyone's just trading each other and they form almost like a little footprint machine. But anyway, I'll let you check out the article yourself. Just search for Sir Links a Lot, free backlinks. Anything else to add on that, Nick?
Just basically, if you're considering this, then just know that, you're going to be paying in some way, shape, or form, even if that's not monetary value, you're going to be paying with your time, right? So, consider that whenever you're building out your campaigns or trying to come up with an idea of what you're going to be doing for your campaigns.
Yeah. Alrighty. You are welcome, Archie. I'm gonna put this one up on the screen. I noticed the guest posts from Sir Links a Lot are from sites that are purely guest posts. Every article is unrelated. Aren't those sites kind of like a PBN? No, so PBN is, so basically you're saying the domains are not niche relevant and they're kind of like general sites or something, I guess. Which definitely is not the case with our guest post. But if we sell you a backlink and you ever have any problem with it, you don't need to come talk to us here on the live stream. You can send a message to customer service and let them know exactly what the problem with the link size. Yeah. And if we have a very, like, if you go look at our product pages and stuff, we have like strict things that we calculate that we sell our links by. And if it breaks any of our rules, free replacement for you, right? But yeah, so the difference between a PBN and a guest post would be that PBN is like owned by us. We have our own PBN network as well, and that's completely separate, and those links are of course a lot cheaper. And then so what you could be talking about instead of a PBN would be a guest post farm. A guest post farm is a website that exists only to sell guest posts, like that's its sole purpose essentially. And no, we don't use guest post farms in our guest post service either. And if you do, tell our customer service, and if we check it out and it ends up, we agree with you that it could be a guest post farm, then we'll have to cancel that one out of our list or whatever, and we'll have to replace your link. Let's see what this next one is. Does site structure really matter in site rankings? So
yeah,
yes and no, because there's like you can do it like different ways, right? Like
fair,
there's not
true.
There's not necessarily like a correct way. The way me and Nick, I think Nick does the same way I do. The way I like to do it is we like to make virtual silos, which is where we don't actually have a site structure that's like Sir Links a Lot slash on-page SEO slash how to write title tags. Like we don't do like that. It'll literally just be sirlinksalot.co/article title, right? And then the way you do your site structure, your quote site structure would be just your interlinking. You're just linking to other stuff that's relevant. So it kind of creates its own little cluster or silo without having an actual structure with like permalinks or yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Um, but yeah, I mean, it does matter in that you do want to pay attention to this stuff somehow, but you don't, but there's no like correct answer. Um, but I guess there are examples of incorrect answers. Like if you do something very badly, right? Like if you do an actual site structure and it just doesn't make sense, or it's like repeating itself a lot, or it's like super long with all these like slashes all over the place, or if you're doing a virtual silo and you're not really, you're linking to just like a bunch of random stuff, not really doing any kind of like clustering or trying to link to the most relevant stuff. Um, but in general, I would
Yeah.
also kind of contradict myself and say that I think if you're just like trying to interlink naturally as what like someone might want to see as they're reading your article, then you should probably be fine. What are you gonna say, Nick?
Yeah. Um, well, I feel like I just spaced out. Basically your site structure is just going to have to do with crawlability, like what you're giving these bots access to as far as crawlability, how easy it is to go through your site, etc. Um, so yeah, like Chris and I aren't, you know, like when I build out a silo structure, I'm not going to be specifically interlinking just within that silo, right? I'm going to be going all over the place and just adding crawlability to the entire site wherever it's relevant. Versus some people do it the opposite way, where they keep everything internal as far as that silo structure and they're only interlinking in there. But I've seen both of them work. Um, but the main thing to consider is, are you adding crawlability to somewhere that is relevant or that it makes sense to add crawlability to? Yeah, and inside of a healthy site would be one that's easily crawlable, that's not like hiding information, orphaned pages, things like that.
Yeah. To be super like honest, like I don't really focus on site structure much at all. I just like, here's the article, link to the most like relevant stuff possible. In a way that also makes sense. Like, is someone actually going to want to like click through this? Like, would they actually be reading this? Like, oh, I want more information on that and click through. And if you're just doing
Yeah,
that, like you're gonna be fine, right?
you're fine.
Like you
Yeah.
don't need to, and I feel like maybe like in the past this kind of stuff was more important, but the way like Google is moving now is like, you're providing like a good like user experience, right? And if you just try to be less of an SEO and more of a human, I think you're gonna do like very well moving forward. That's probably gonna be like my SEO mantra moving forward is like do things like a human. Like don't do things like a robot so much anymore. Like less automated, less trying to game it, and just like think about the reader a lot more, and you'll end up doing just fine. Um, all right. And he says we should have BB on the show. Yeah, we could have BB on. Praveen says with SGE are going back in time to the good old 2004, 2005 when one had to work their ass off to be seen. Could be, but yeah, I'm not too worried about SGE. Someone else was just saying that they removed the end date of the experiment, so sounds like Google doesn't really want to release it quite yet or anytime soon, but we'll see. Not worried. Um, if the metrics on a guest post farm are good and receive some traffic, are those sites still worth pursuing? So, determining if something is a guest post farm is can actually be a little bit difficult. I mean,
Yeah.
it can and it can't be. The line gets like very blurry. It's hard to like decide exactly where you're going to draw the line, right? But what I will say is if a website is getting traffic, that means that Google is rewarding it with rankings. If Google's rewarding a site with rankings, it means that it's in like the top, was it like top like 10% or 5% or something of websites on the internet? It's like 90% or more of sites don't get any traffic, right? Is that the statistic, Nick? something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Anyway, it's an insanely high percent. So if they're rewarding a site with traffic, it means that Google likes it. They like the content on it. They consider it, this content at least somewhat trustworthy enough to like show people. This is why a lot of people like to see traffic as one of the metrics, even though it's not perfect. It can be manipulated just like DR or anything else. So, but in general, if the site is getting traffic, which is one of the things we always check for guest posts and link insertions, then it's definitely, it could be worth pursuing, but there should be other things that you check out as well, right? And if you know for a fact it's a guest post farm, you could even still say it's still worth pursuing because maybe Google
Yeah.
doesn't know it's a guest post farm. And even if Google knows it's a guest post farm, but they're still rewarding with traffic, I don't know. I just feel like, I wouldn't pursue guest post farms as a link building strategy. If you get some guest post farm links, fine, but I wouldn't like actually like, try to get like a bunch of like guest post farm links just because you could, maybe because they're cheaper or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
If that makes
I
sense.
feel like that's what it comes down to. How are you diversifying your backlink profile? Does it seem worthwhile to get this link after you've, combed metrics on it, or after you've already gotten it? Um, and go from there. But if I'm doing a good job at backlinking and a few of these come through, I'm definitely not going to complain about it, especially if they're, showing some sort of health in the SERPs.
Absolutely. All right. Let's see what we got next. Busier stream than I thought.
Yeah.
If I own one site in English, can I use that same content from site one to another site which is in another language? But Nick, so we were just talking about this on on the site audit we did at the beginning of the stream.
Well,
Nick,
sort
how do you
of.
feel about this? Nick's
We
very
were
passionate about
talking,
this
no, we were
subject.
talking about a plugin specifically on the
Uh,
same
on the same
site,
site.
which you can't
Gotcha.
do. Now I haven't tried this in a long time, but I know it used to work. So I can't really speak to that right now. If you'll get duplicate content issues, translating onto a different site or not, if you're going after a different geographic region. Um, yeah, I don't wanna pretend to answer that, but I mean, you definitely used to be able to get that to work. I had even thought a long time ago it'd be cool to design a plugin that would automatically let you download um, a website in a different language using Google Translate, and then you could upload it to a different URL, but never got there or anything. But yeah, you definitely used to be able to do it. But I don't know, maybe there's somebody else that's actually working on this that has done it within the last 2, 3 years.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't really give any insight on that. I don't, definitely not the expert
I'm
on
I'm I'm
doing
I'm
foreign language stuff like
guessing that
that.
it doesn't work all that well, or we'd be seeing people talk about it like they used to. Because I remember people used to just go into foreign language SERPs and then rip entire sites that didn't belong to them, and then
Hmm.
position them back up. But I haven't heard of anybody doing that in a long time. Not that
Gotcha.
you would do that, everybody.
All right. Looks like we are starting to run out of time a little bit, but not quite yet. So let's see. Maybe we got time for one more audit. And I think this person might be an managed link building client of ours, or they maybe they were at some point. I'm not really sure, but I think that at least they were at some point. But I think we audited their site like 6 months ago, and now they want another audit just to see, guess how they're doing. Let me send that over to you, Nick. All right. And let me get a graph for you guys to look at. Looks good to me. I mean, a lot better than most of the other sites we audit. At least the traffic numbers, right?
Let's see.
And let's see what he says.
Yeah, looks like it's taken a little bit of a dive, but nothing bad.
Oop, shoot. Let me, here, one sec. Previous audit 6 months ago. There we go. All right, previous audit was 6 months ago. Okay, so it didn't really give us much info. We just know the previous, we audited their site 6 months ago, so we'll see how things are going now. So get that off the screen for you guys, and going back over to Ahrefs, what did they get hit by? It doesn't really look like they got hit by anything. There was no
Not
update there.
specifically, no.
Interesting. So I'm not really sure. Could have just been, yeah.
It looks more like maybe just a correction. Because I
Could
wouldn't
have
say
been.
this is like a serious dive or anything, right? Like it's just pull
I
you down
mean,
a little bit.
compared to most of the other people that are talking in SEO spaces right now, this site is doing great.
Fine, yeah. I mean,
Um,
what you lost?
core update in August, doing great. Helpful content update just keeps going up. October core update keeps going up. November core update kind of up and sideways, and then eventually had a little bit of a correction there, but hard to say why.
Yeah, but that's pretty normal too, right? I mean, like I'm looking like nothing seems out of whack here. You lost less than like what, 5% of your traffic.
Okay, so did you want to look at the off? I guess we're going to go ahead and look at the off page real quick,
Yeah.
but we don't really, I mean, if he's in MLB, then we'd be building backlinks for him. So let me see if
We'll
he's
say
still,
these
let me see if he's
anchors
still
look
in
kind of
MLB.
funny, but probably old stuff. Yeah.
Hopefully, I hope he is still in MLB, because then I can say something real salesy. Here we go. Just give me 1 second, guys. Orders. It looks like they are still in MLB.
Nice.
Yeah, they've got another report that's going out in like a week or two. So we're in the middle of a month for them of link building right now. So yeah, there you go, guys. Basically, all you need to know about this is that here we started building links where around June, because it's 6 months. So yeah, essentially we started building links like, right, I'll show you on the other screen. Just make sure you can see. Around the June mark, so around like right here. So see how that growth? That's around the 6 month mark where we started building links for them. There you go. sterlingsalot.co. We build the links, you do the content, get your rankings. Don't even got to worry about updates anymore, right? The links are algo proof, right? Don't worry about that little correction at the end. I'm sure things are going to be just
It'll
fine.
be fine.
But regardless, we make posts in the group and stuff, and we always have to clarify that, when we do see nice results like this for a client site, we're only doing, half the work. And actually the harder work, well, I feel like content takes like a lot more time these days, right? Depending on how much content you're doing, or maybe just link building seems easy to us since we're set up for it. But
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'd rather come in and do my backlinking every month versus the content planning, putting up, etc.
true. But yeah, anyway, so obviously he's doing something right. So yeah, we'll keep building the links. Let's see I shouldn't have exited. I could see kind of like what we've been doing for him real quick.
Yeah, because there's a lot of old
So it looks like he started
stuff
off with
kinda
a really
clouding
low
up.
budget, and he's been kind of increasing his budget, which is cool. But yeah, so as far as the types of links and stuff, it's primarily niche edits and guest posts, doing some social signals. Niche edits and guest posts, probably about 50-50. Looks like we are using about mid authority to high authority in the beginning, where we were using some more like kind of low authority as well, but mainly like mid to high authority. Looks like especially in like the last like couple months or whatever, yeah, a lot of like high authority as well. And yeah, about 50-50 niche edits, guest post. We are linking to inner pages, but I'd say probably about 20 to 30% of the links are going to inner pages, so it's really not going too heavy on the inner pages. So overall, I like what the team's doing as far as the link building goes here. It looks natural, pumping authority, not overly aggressive or anything. We do use some exact match anchors and stuff like that here and there, but not on very high numbers. And yeah, things are looking good. So we'll keep doing that. Did you want to audit the site itself real quick, Nick?
I'm going through it. It's ecom, right? So I don't think there's too much to say so far. It looks all right based on like what I've just randomly gone through.
I like how,
Big
as far as like
site.
EAT goes, it looks like legitimate, right? They've got all this information
Mm-hmm.
everywhere, terms and conditions, their phone number, their address, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
The site is in a foreign language. We got Google translating it or whatever, but obviously is not perfect. How big is this site?
This isn't
No.
the most
Oh, I thought you were gonna say
tall and
something else.
handsome
No, no,
man
no.
in
It's not
SEOs.
his. I
Okay.
think it's one of his friends, though.
I couldn't. Okay. All right. Right on.
It's actually got quite a lot of pages on here, but it is
Yeah,
an
it's
ecom
huge.
site, so yeah, about like
Yeah.
5K indexed URLs. Um, yeah, pretty,
Very specific.
lots of products. Yeesh.
Mm-hmm.
Lots and lots of products. Oh, this page I'm looking at is like glitching out, or maybe it's still loading.
Yeah,
There we
mine
go.
did it too as it was loading.
Yeah.
Where there's like a bunch of overlap text and stuff, but then it
Yeah.
formats correctly after.
Might want to look into that though. I'm definitely not like a technical SEO person, but I think stuff like this can like actually affect
Yeah.
stuff. You might just want to see what's going on with
Take a
that kind
look.
of loading thing, yeah. Um, yeah, it looks like a pretty like standard kind of like e-com site, right? It's hard to
Mm-hmm.
really wonder what we said about this site on our last audit.
There a blog somewhere? Let me translate some stuff.
Yeah, sorry guys. We do try to
Yeah,
audit the foreign
there's a
language sites
blog.
to our best, but it's really hard. Uh, where's the blog? How'd you find it?
Footer, just in the footer. Now I will say
Oh,
this
there we go.
hub page for the blog is pretty weird.
Yeah,
Um,
got a bunch of interlinks.
but yeah, it serves for crawlability. It seems to be pushing out properly. Yeah.
Have you found any like category pages or anything like that?
No, that's what I thought was kind of weird about the blog. Just how it's kind of split up.
Can't get Google to translate it anymore. It stopped popping up. I guess the category pages are just like they just list all the products, but it looks like there's not really any
Yeah.
content on the category pages. So I guess that's one thing you could say is like actually put some content here on your category pages. Even if you want to leave like the list of products up at the top, you can add some content like down at the bottom, right?
Mm.
Just so yeah, think about users first. So if a user lands on a category page, like what do they want to see? You can maybe even think about like organizing these better because the way that category pages look right now is it's literally like just like straight out like 100 products like listed, right? Which might be working good. I'm not really sure, but you could try to like group them in different ways or have like sections within the category or whatever. And then yeah, maybe add some content at the bottom, and you can actually try to rank these category pages, right? Uh, anything else that you're seeing, Nick?
Not really. No.
I guess we could look at a blog article real quick.
Hey, buddy, I'm doing my show right now. I'll be there in a minute, okay?
I'm so hungry.
Okay, I'll cook you some food here in a little bit.
Don't cook him anything. Not for interrupting. No
I know,
food
right?
today.
Jeez, I mean,
So the blog article, I clicked on a blog article and I've got to say there's a lot to be desired, right? It's
mm.
essentially a wall of text. There's some interlinking, which is nice, but it really looks like just a wall of text, right? Just not what if I landed on a page, I wouldn't want
Oh
to read
yeah,
that.
I'm on one now.
Like on,
Looks pretty short for how general it is too, but not a single image. I'm not seeing.
yeah,
Oh
no
yeah, here's two
images.
interlinks.
Yeah, so I guess
Yeah.
probably the most constructive criticism we'll be able to give you this whole audit is beef up these blog posts. And it is work. I understand. Like I get it. This is the worst part about SEO, right? But it is SEO.
Yeah.
So, um, and what I would do for direction is just go Google like a keyword like that any of your blog posts is trying to rank for. Just Google that keyword and go open like the top three and just look at what their blog posts look like. And you're going to see that they're going to look very different from yours. Um, I'll go ahead and do that right now just to kind of prove my point, I guess. Hopefully it's not, I don't even know what this keyword is, but it looks like I typed it, the keyword's in a foreign language. I don't know if it's the keyword, but I typed it in and he's ranking number one for it. So
So I guess he's doing all right. He's also, I was gonna say, he's very specific, right? Like this niche, this website is very specific. So, if we're talking about content that's specific about something that I'm guessing is probably, well, I don't know, man, they probably do have some decent competition, but I would think this is probably like, I would think their competition is mainly broader based websites, like maybe around the construction niche or something along those lines, or selling a bunch of products, not just this one thing.
all right, so I found another one. I'll get this off my screen.
Pops, what are you doing it?
Bring him on. Get him on the camera. Get him on the camera. Done want him on. All right, but yeah, anyway, we'll just go ahead and leave it at that. My biggest advice would be to beef up these blog articles. Maybe use a tool like Surfer to make sure your word count is kind of similar to what your competitors are doing that they're ranking for. Get some images in the blog articles, make them look nice. Get some headings. You might not have even had any headings now that I'm thinking about it. I know he's got some headings.
No,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and just break up this text, into like paragraphs, make it easier to read. Yeah, images, just there's a bunch of ways you can kind of break it up and make it better. But yeah, look at the number one rankers, see what they're doing, and that'll give you a pretty good idea of what we're talking about. Um, yeah, basically just stuff. It's kind of like user engagement type stuff, keeping users happy. But Google seems to be kind of really going after this kind of stuff lately, so it's what you want to be doing if you want to, safeguard your blog for the long run. Because even like super like low energy kind of like spam stuff can work in the beginning, and it can work for a while even, but you never really know how long, right? So it's better to be safe, especially on a big site like this one. It looks like more of a long-term project, not a churn and burn project. Investing a good amount of money, then you want to kind of try to safeguard yourself, right? Um,
Yeah, you don't want to create an environment where a competitor can just come in and be like, "Oh, well, this looks easy. This guy's ranking for number one, but doing minimal effort.
yeah,
Let me just come in and scoop up these SERPs."
yeah, true that. All right, let's go and see if we have any more questions real quick, and then we will get out of here. Looks like no more on Facebook, one more on YouTube. All right, this will be the last question, guys, and we'll get out of here. What do you think of blogging gurus that are pushing blogging courses without having any proof of successful blogs themselves, such as Income School? I don't know anything about Income School. I know the name, but I'm not going to comment on them, and I'm not going to comment on anybody specific. But it would be good for people to be able to show you like proof of what they're doing, right? But I
Yeah.
also I also understand like that people don't want to build in public because once you start making public like what your website is, then bad things generally happen. People report you to Google, people rip all your content, people negative SEO you. Like people are brutal out there. Like especially in the SEO world, I feel like. So I truly understand the concept of I'm not wanting to reveal stuff like this. But, instead of like maybe revealing their main projects, maybe they could have some kind of like little like side project or whatever where they can show that with the understanding that everything, all the time and investment and energy they put into it will probably be lost because someone's going to just spam the crap out of it, report you for, I don't know, building links or something, whatever. Um, so I get it, but at the
At the
same
very
time, it's good to
least,
see proof, right?
at the very least, right? Like if they've got a course on blogging, then you should be able to look at their main website wherever you landed and kind of see what they're doing as far as like their network goes. And are they doing a decent job of that, or is it complete
Well, they might
garbage?
not use organic
Um,
to get people.
but either way, like, I mean, how many people do you know that are doing a blogger course that's just pure word of mouth? Like
Well,
they're
I
trying to
know.
get their name
So,
out
for
there at some point.
example, I think a very good example of someone like this. Well, not that selling a. Well, he does sell course actually. So Charles Float. So Charles gets almost like zero organic. He's like
Charles
zero.
is promoting himself on Twitter and like I just
Exactly,
saw
exactly.
him
Twitter,
promote something yesterday.
but not a
Yeah,
blog.
but
Like he's
so
like you don't find Charles from like him ranking his blog and like pulling you in, and then you go, oh well, his blog is ranking, so he must know his shit, right?
well, but see, we're talking about blogging, not just ranking your blog, right? Like so like what
Blogging,
you
yeah.
do as far as bringing people into your network, wherever that may
Blogging, like a
be.
website blog.
Sure, but like he's pulling people in right through Twitter,
Social,
through
yeah, social, not a
yeah.
blog. So you don't
He
rank
doesn't
a
have a blog anymore at all.
he does, but his I think his blogs he doesn't like update them. A lot of it I think is like really old, and he doesn't really post like
Mm.
blog articles. Um, but Charles obviously knows SEO and is doing a bunch of stuff in SEO, and he's just been around for a while, so I guess people don't really need the proof from him anymore. But or
Yeah.
you could say someone like Matt Diggity. Like, do you know any of Matt Diggity's blogs? Well, I guess he has Diggity Marketing, which
I
actually
mean, yeah,
ranks for
he's
a
got
bunch of stuff, and that's public, of
yeah.
course. Okay. Um, anyway, answer still stands. Of course, it would be good if you could see some kind of proof or whatever.
I mean,
But
he's got charlesfloattraining.com. That's the one he's advertising on Twitter.
yeah, but I don't think that's ranking for anything, is it?
Well,
He
I
he
mean,
just launched
he's
that.
promoting,
Charles
he's
Float.
pushing people on there, and then his latest ebooks there, his latest courses there.
Yeah, so
It's a very
charlesfloattraffic.com
nice
for training
professional website.
has 13
S-
traffic.
Right, but looking at this thing like the way it's built out, um, he's showing that he's a speaker at a lot of different places. Like, he's got some authority here. I
But what
wouldn't
I'm
land
saying
on
is
his site and
it's
be
not an
like,
example of a ranking site. Like this site is not ranking for anything. So it wouldn't be like proof like, oh, I'll buy his course because I can see his website is ranking, right?
but the question is blogging, right? Like not
Blogging, yes.
specific to ranking.
Blogging
Yeah.
is ranking on organic Google.
No, blogging is just managing a website and bringing people to that website for whatever
Okay.
reason,
Okay, so okay,
right?
never mind. Okay, I see what you're
That's all I
saying.
was saying.
So yeah, you
Just like
could,
it's not,
but generally when
like
people are blogging, they generally want organic traffic, right?
yeah, you
But
want traffic from somewhere, right? Like you're promoting
yeah.
yourself. But like if I landed on this, even if I don't see rankings, I'm like, all right, well, it's well put together. He's showing that he's an authority. He's done a lot of stuff in this field. There's reviews.
So
There's
maybe I was answering
a
it
lot
that
of
way
stuff
because
like
I'm pretty
that.
sure income school, it's income school is more like SEO focused.
Gotcha.
I really don't know much about them, but I have seen like stuff about them like on social media and stuff, and I'm pretty sure they sell like SEO courses, like build blogs, rank blogs, and I think they at least
Gotcha.
used to be like heavily focused on ads rather than like affiliate or something like
Gotcha.
that. But
Um,
yeah, I can't really comment too much. Um, yeah, anything else you want to add on that? We kind of just rambled and argued for a
I
bit.
don't think so, but I mean, like, yeah, if you're landed on a random page, or like, let's say they're talking about like, how to be a blogger, but then you get on their sales page and it's poorly written English, like there's no formatting, etc. They're probably not the right person, to be gambling on as far as a course goes, right?
Yeah.
You'd want something that's
But
put
Nick, what
together
about
that
this? What if they're selling SEO
has
courses, how
intention.
to make a blog and make money with SEO, like actually
Hmm.
ranking, but they don't show
Yeah.
you any proof of a ranking website. What do you think about that?
So all right, so before you get into the course, there's no proof, or
No.
you'd
Like
have to buy the course and
their
then
own
you get
website, they're
in.
not trying to rank it, right? Maybe they just get all their traffic from
Yeah, I
social and
think
stuff, but their course is like this is how you build a blog and rank it on Google, but they don't have any proof of
yeah,
rankings.
if there's proof of rankings within the course, and you can like go through testimonials or maybe Reddit, like where people have done the course and they're like, there's actionable advice in here, then probably okay. But if you're just going off of like let's say Charles's site right here and you put it in and it's not ranking for anything, I don't think that's necessarily, because of lack of intent, or I mean, it's because of lack of intent that it's not ranking, not because he can't rank it,
True.
obviously.
Yeah. Well, Charles gets like, most of his like promotion of himself is on like Twitter or whatever. So the website's
Yeah,
not actually trying to rank anything. He just, that's where people go to pay and whatever. Um,
yeah,
but yeah. All right. We'll go and end it there. I'll just say, proof is good. But I understand proof can kind of be tricky at sometimes. But I feel like, I mean, you can fake proof as well. But anyway, yeah,
yeah,
be careful out there.
yeah.
I understand the struggle. All right, let's see. We've got anything else? We're just gonna go. They don't even show statistics of Google Analytics hiding their website name, like the graphs you show here. Yeah, so we don't show anything on the graphs here because it's people asking us to audit their websites, and we don't want to reveal them. So that's why we don't show them here, of course. But yeah, maybe, it depends on the website. If it's a site they don't want to make public, then they're gonna want to hide it, right? Um, but yeah, I mean, maybe it would be a good idea for them just to instill more trust to make some test websites or whatever that they know that are going to be
Right.
public and that people are going to find out and might eventually lose all their traffic or whatever because people report them or spam them or whatever, right? Says maybe also because if you get too popular in SEO and your website names are public, you can get, yes, exactly. People negative SEO you. People like there's some like really like jealous people in this industry, right? And anything,
Dude.
and like we've been negative SEO, like people just negative SEO like because they don't like you, they don't like you're a competitor, they might not even know you, never talk to you, and they'll negative SEO you just because some dirty people in this industry.
Yeah, a lot of people just sit at home with their thumbs up their asses, thinking of ways to, shit on other people's parade. There's countless people, especially like in SEO, you're gonna run into people like that. It is what it is.
So anyways, I heard Income School course doesn't provide too much new information compared to their free videos on YouTube. Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never taken the course.
Yeah,
He was referring Income School graphs. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and call it there. This has been our first live stream of the new year. I'll write this here.
Happy
New Year 2024. Glad you all could have joined us, even though we did it at a very weird time. We're just trying, I'm in Thailand and Nick is back in Texas. I'm in a t-shirt. Nick is wearing a sweater and a little cap.
Yeah.
Because that's just how it is right now. How's the winter over there, by the way?
It's warm, honestly. It's only just that it's so early in the day. I guess the last few days have been a little bit cold, but I mean, it has not been out of the ordinary to have a t-shirt on in December out
Not a
here,
cold
which
winter.
is
Any
not
freezes?
normal. Not yet. No, not yet. So they said it was going to get pretty bad. I guess we'll see come late January, early February. But yeah, I don't know. Pretty weird winter so far.
Awesome. All right, guys. Oh yeah, one thing before we go. This month we've got our first sale of the new year. We've got niche edits on sale. 10% off niche edits, which are link insertions, which are some of our best links that we sell. Guest posts and link insertions are our two big types. So yeah, link insertions, 10% off all month with code niche11. Yeah, if you don't understand the sale or whatever, you can just email us at info@sterlingslot.co and we'll give you the discount code. Yeah, it's our first sale of the year. Oh, we're going to be announcing our $5,000 backlink giveaway winners on Friday. So if you are not signed up for our $5,000 backlink giveaway, definitely sign up for that because we give away $200 in links every single month, but for Christmas or the holidays or whatever, we give away a big one, right? So there'll be, I think it's broken up between 11 people. I can't remember if it's 11 or 14, but pretty sure it's 11. And yeah, I think that's all I've got for now. Just the sale, niche edit sale and giveaway coming soon. So yeah, make sure you're in the group and paying attention, and we will announce the winners